Hi, how are you? Mario, Syria. Hello, friends.
Hi.
So, we have Mario and Syria with us today. They both are Director of Enrollments. And thank you for joining me today. So, what do we have today, Mario?
Absolutely. So the featured question today is from Talia Gold. She's asking for self-employed applicants who qualified under the high income category, how did you verify hours worked to justify a high hourly rate?
Oh, it's a very, I think let's read all the questions together this gentleman has sent so we can take all of the questions together. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So the second question is, does the USCIS assess adjusted gross income, AGI, or total income when evaluating high salary eligibility? And third is, should salary comparisons be based on national data or local state zip code benchmarks in the US?
Wonderful. I think let's take this each part of it one by one. And before we kind of first is about for self-employed applicants, how the salary criteria needs to get tackled. The second is about the adjusted gross income with reference to your I-140, the 1040 form by IRS. And third is about the comparison with whom it should be made. Now, guys, let's take a step back. The idea behind the salary criteria for the purpose of EB1A is not actually how much income are you drawing. Let's be clear. The idea behind the salary criteria is how much is your expertise worth it. Now, let's check. Is typically well, and we have to give evidence for that. I mean, how much is your expertise worth it? So we have seen people even with a 120, 150 at least has been the good benchmark for us. As we have seen 150K getting approved, 200 getting approved, 300 getting approved, but we have also seen $1 million salary getting rejected. Now, why does this happen? Because it's not articulated, it is not connected to your expertise. That's the core part. So even if you're drawing some amount, but if it cannot be connected to the expertise, that will always be a challenge. Okay, that's how the things are actually here. Just let's appreciate it. Now, for the self-employed applicants, I'm not very sure that you have to kind of verify hours or something. I think the best way to do that would be get a your 1040 kind of whatever you are showing that income, show the total income. This is what your expertise is worth it. So for example, if Mario is working with Next League and total expense the company would have, they use the word quote unquote, kind of invested in his expertise, that should include total amount for Mario. That should be, let's say Mario is earning 200K in a year, 300K, 150K. That would be the total amount that is considered. Hours and everything is not matter. Maybe a person is working as a consultant for multiple people, as a self-employed. You don't have to justify. Your work is getting justified, but you did for a specific work in your expertise. This is what is important. This is, I would say, for the first thing. This automatically responds to the second question also, which says that, okay, adjusted gross income, this doesn't matter. What matters is that how much is your expertise worth. So if you take total income, which is money coming into your bank account, money coming into the company, your 401, I think you can combine everything, and we have seen that happening. Now, how do we? The last is about evidence. And how do we create that evidence is some kind of an expert opinion. Your CPA may give you an expert opinion. You can give a signed declaration that this is what my income is, and then do some comparison analysis. There are, we have seen from our program, people do expert opinion letters on salary. Also, they take it where the comparison analysis can be done. This is the way it should be. I would say is the best way forward, rather than complicating it too much. Actually. So that would be my kind of thinking, and that would be my approach. That I would say that. I hope that makes sense, Mario.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I think you answered the question in its full, to the fullest of to the extent that you could. But our next question is from anonymous. They say, "Hi everyone. I know every profile is different. However, before getting evaluation from any attorney, I would like to have your feedback, comments on my current profile for EB1A. My NIW was approved in 2023. Currently, I'm working as a lead developer in a renowned bank in the U.S. So here's my profile." One, my role is critical and can provide letters from the same for my executives too. Two, have been in the field for more than a decade. Three, 15 research papers published in journals, conference proceedings, and book chapters in the last 10 years. I have 75 citations. 5, peer-reviewed 20 plus articles, both journals and conference papers. 6, presented my research in various prestigious conferences related to my field. And 7, not sure if my salary is top one in my location. Please help me fill any gaps where I can focus while my priority date becomes current in 1 to 2 years.
Uh, Congratulations on your national interest waiver application. It's a good, at least you can block your priority date. I hope it is as current as your EB1A, so you can pour, when you get your EB1A approved, you can port the date. Now, let me first, what is missing in this whole thing is that what's your expertise? You won't get, whether this is 7 criteria or 8 points that what you have mentioned, you are not going to get EB1A because of the criteria. Let's be very clear. We have seen people even getting 8 criteria getting approved and still getting rejected. So what you need to do here is, how do you establish your profundity? So it's like, an application for EB1 is like talking to President Trump and saying that, look, I'm Mario. This is my expertise, which is missing here right now. Okay, this is what I will do for the US. I don't know what you plan to do, and I will continue in my field of expertise. So these are the 3 things. All the 3 things are missing. I have, you actually don't even have to fulfill the criteria necessarily. I have studied some cases wherein even without, and without actually fulfilling the criteria, you can also get, because the criteria are nothing but the lens to look at you as a professional, and that's how EB1A truly is achieved. So, okay, but yes, I mean, I understand that you, having said this, let me still try to respond to you from the lens of the criteria. So I'm looking at your profile not from the criteria centric approach, but looking using the lens as a criteria. So critical and can provide letters. So there is a certain format that you should be using, what kind of letters you will be doing, how the role is critical. So these are the things that should matter actually here. Now, have you been into the field for more than a decade? I mean, research papers, published journals, and book chapters in last 10 years, which is good. But is it really required for your profile? And because everything depends on your expertise. Are you a researcher? Then it makes sense. If you are into a kind of a business role, then what impact does it have? Your research papers would have is something that needs to get elaborated here. Citations, who are the people who are citing? And citations are also metric for certain kind of people. If it makes sense, I don't know. If you happen to be research oriented person, then it makes sense. Peer reviewed 20 plus journals, presented my research in various prestigious conference related to field, which is very good. Not sure. Salary, we have to tell me actually here. I cannot tell you the gaps here, my friend, because I don't know what is your expertise. How would a person who is in the top 1% or 10% in your field of expertise would look like? How a top 1% in who is a software developer in, let us say, software performance testing would be very different. The metrics for success for that person would be very different than a person who is, let us say, a DevOps engineer, somebody who is, something else actually. Maybe in geospatial, we had a person who was a geospatial logistics engineer actually. So there are a lot of variations into this, and that's the mistake people do. And I would just like you to look yourself from this lens, what I have shared with you. Wish you all the best. I would just say that if you need more help or something, please reach out to Mario or Syria, or I will be more than happy to help you. Yeah. So Syria, what's the next question?
So the next question is for an anonymous participant. He said, "Hi everyone. Please see my credentials for applying EB1A, EB2NIW. One, published 33 articles, research articles. Two patents and 2 book chapters. 3, presented 25 articles at various international conferences. 4, 2,000 citations so far. 5, review 10 articles of others. 6, 1 Young Scientist Award, and 3 memberships."
Okay, congratulations. I think you have a very promising profile, I would say that, and a very encouraging one, which is very good. But again, my same question to you would be that, let's look at first from the EB1A. What's your expertise? My same 3 questions. What's your expertise? How it will benefit the USA, and that how does it prove that you will continue in your field of expertise? I mean, this has to be consistent and come out in your every initiatives. Again, imagine you are talking to President Trump and telling him, okay, what do I need to do more? I mean, how would one assess you that? Are you young scientist or research paper? In what subject? Are you talking about nano research, artificial intelligence, Are you talking about rocket science? Are you talking about software development? What exactly are you talking about? Coding? What exactly is the whole aspect here? Published 33, it does not, nothing makes sense if your expertise is not profound. Let me give you an illustration, guys. I mean, let us say, for example, if I'd say that my expertise is a rocket fuel science and my fuel can help take a rocket from Earth to Mars and come back without refueling. Let me promise you guys, if that level of expertise and that kind of profundity if I have, I don't need to have, I can just get, US will be, I think I will be a great asset to the country. You are just one amongst the many, it does not make any sense here. If you have published 33 research articles, 2 patents, but I'm still not getting the feel that how it is valuable to the United States. So for every activity, for every initiative that you talk about, if you can articulate how it is going to benefit the United States, I think that should be the proper approach, rather than just kind of trying to fit yourself into the criteria, which may not necessarily be a very good approach. I know at times this people do expect, and everywhere, every second person on internet, on various forums, keep on asking these questions. My message to everybody is that understand the dynamics, understand the whole jurisprudence of EB1A in a very articulate manner. People who understand this sooner, they are kind of the best people actually, and they achieve their success. So, Mario, what's the next question? Oh, so Mario is not here. So, Syria, can you ask? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So our next question is, what common pitfalls do you see in EB1A applications, and how does your program help minimize the risk of receiving an RFE?
Okay. Common pitfalls, what we have seen is that not articulating your expertise properly.
Mhm.
Okay, that's the first and the foremost thing what I have seen. Trying to fit into themselves into the criteria, going for a very generic approach.
Mhm.
Fourth, I think going for manufactured achievements, doing things which asking somebody ghostwriting, buying citations. It is outright fraud. Uh,
Mhm.
Trying to showcase what you are not. I would
Mhm.
rather prefer. You see, people try to seek benefit of time and wanting to think, looking for a quick fix approaches, rather than doing something in a more, kind of aggressive and more patient manner, rather than going aggressive. That is the common pitfall actually here. Then forgetting totality, trying to fit into your criteria, not showing the overall picture. If you are able to do that, that would make more sense actually. So
Mhm.
I would strongly urge, people who are more, kind of to go for, not to go rather for a criteria centric approach and look at the overall totality. I mean, some of the applications are what best of the best profiles which I have seen are not getting connected to your expertise. For example, how can a $2 million salary getting rejected in a EB1A criteria while somebody who is drawing 150 or 180K gets it actually? It's only because of right articulation of criteria. That's what I would like to say right at the moment here. Mario, let's take a question from your side. We just
Yeah,
for a second. Yeah.
yeah, of course. So, one question that I have from Anonymous is, what metrics or outcomes do you use to measure the success of your EB1A candidates, and what success rate have you achieved overall?
Wonderful. Let me try to take a. We are a Supreme Court approved body offering integrated legal as well as coaching services actually here. So people who have followed our process, the audited report says that we have 97.5% people have got achieved their EB1A in totality. That's our success rate actually here. Having said this, what metrics do I? What's the? Can you repeat the first question again?
Yeah, what metrics or outcomes do you use to measure the success of your EB1A candidates?
I really love this question because it is making us think in a more deeper way beyond EB1A actually. So I think the first, I would always like to see, even when you're performing a critical role, how, what's the scope of authority that you have? What are the rare skill set that you possess? So, I mean, since we like to look it from the lens of the criteria, I'm looking it from the lens of the criteria here. What are the rare skill sets? What are the skill sets that you have earned or developed? Is it just a repetitive skill, or it is at a knowledge spectrum? Okay, what is it exactly unique thing about you which is which the US should get benefit about? I mean, let's look at it. I mean, US should be craving for you. I mean, let's look at it that way. What is the unique thing about you? What is the specific feature? What I mean, if it were not only for EB1A, I would like to simply ask everybody a question that if you were not even born, or your and it means that obviously your expertise did not exist with you, how would the world be a better place, or how would the world look like without you? I mean, that's the kind of a very profound question. You can always, simplify this question in a more elegant manner. I mean, more from a practical manner, let's put it that way. How I mean, this is beyond EB1A actually. Here, the whole idea behind the whole program is not just to help you get EB1A, but to kind of push you to your own frontiers, to your own horizons, which is much more than EB1A, green card. So from that perspective, first question that happens is, okay, how would the world look like without you? That's the first thing that I would like to say. Number two would be, what are the unique features about you, unique things about you that would kind of help a particular community, science, field, anything what you are talking about, business, to you, where to the people around you. And third, I would like to measure it in a very unique way where we call it a disc matrix, that, okay, what is your learning continuum? Are you at a skill stage or a knowledge stage? How much is your progressive experience? Not, when I say progressive experience, it does not mean a repetitive experience. When somebody says that I have a 10 years of experience, does it mean that 1 year's experience multiplied by 10 times? Or is it an incremental cumulative experience? So, I mean, you have to just look at it from a perspective that during the time of your 10 years, a first grader has moved to 10th grader. So are you doing the same thing again and again? Or have you evolved yourself as a better professional as maturity took you along the way? That would be, and because of your knowledge and because of your experience, what is the impact in the world that you have made? Or impact in the company that you have made? Impact to the country that you have made? If you can just articulate these things, this is, I normally like to look at a person, and when person is able to kind of answer these questions fairly in 2 to 3 minute time frame, I would personally feel that the person is ready to file an application. So that would be my way of kind of looking at things in the program, and this is how the coaching would happen to orient you somebody to that extent, Mario and Syria. I think that's all we have for today. Friends, if you have more questions, please write to us, to Syria, Mario, or me, and we'll be happy to take up your questions. If you want your profile to be reviewed, we'll be happy to do it in a more granular way. If somebody has received RFE, unfortunately, or NOINS or something, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you out, and wish you all the best. And if you want to join the program, of course, we are there to help you as well in your EB1A journey. So, wish you all the best and have a wonderful Saturday, friends. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any further questions or need personalized guidance, please reach out to us. We are here to help you every step of the way in your journey towards achieving your American dream. Let's